the Indian Motorcycle Riders Group of Oklahoma City, Chapter 1966. Our sponsor is Scott Conway, and our president is Rich Kincaid.
We gotta get to a higher place and we gotta leave by night. Before that river takes us down, we gotta find somewhere that's dry.
The Crazy Horse Memorial is under construction in the Black Hills in Custer County, South Dakota. It will depict the Oglala Lakota warrior Crazy Horse riding a steed and pointing off into the distance. The memorial was commissioned by Henry Standing Bear, a Lakota elder, to be sculpted by Korczak Ziolkowski. It's been in the works since 1948 and is far from completion, but is visited by more than 1 million people annually. The visitor complex currently consists of the monument, the Indian Museum of North America, the Native American Cultural Center, and the Laughing Water Restaurant. Deemed impossible to construct by its critics, Needles Highway, South Dakota Highway 87, is part of the Peter Norbeck Scenic Byway and was completed in 1922. The road lies within the 71,000-acre Custer State Park, just 30 miles south of Rapid City, South Dakota, and is an impressive 14-mile stretch that includes sharp turns, narrow tunnels, granite spires, and world-class views. Cruising on Needles Highway isn't about getting to the next destination. It's about taking in the scenery. This slow-speed byway will take around an hour to drive, and you'll want to make time to snap a few photos.
That Iron Mountain? I've said to Rich, please turn around, I want to do it again.
Iron Mountain Road, South Dakota Highway 16A, is also part of the Peter Norbeck Scenic Byway, a route that was proclaimed one of America's top 10 scenic drives by the Society of American Travel Writers. Iron Mountain is a lengthy 2-lane example of road construction as an art form. Norbeck, then a 63-year-old U.S. Senator, personally explored Iron Mountain, looking for views that best showed off the Black Hills landscapes and the emerging faces at Rushmore. Norbeck's Iron Mountain Road squeezes through 3 stone tunnels built to showcase Mount Rushmore. It spirals down 3 pigtail bridges and winds round and round up to the 5,445-foot summit. Others wanted the road to skirt the peak, but Norbeck insisted on scenery over economy. The 60-foot-high Mount Rushmore carvings by Gutzon Borglum include the faces of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. The initial concept for Mount Rushmore was to depict each of the 4 presidents from their head to waist, but involvement in World War II and lack of funds forced construction to end in late October of 1941, with only the heads being completed. In 1966, Mount Rushmore was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. President George Bush in 1991 officially dedicated Mount Rushmore, and the monument reportedly attracts roughly 3 million visitors annually. The town of Deadwood, South Dakota was founded illegally on Lakota tribal land, but that didn't stop floods of settlers moving in once gold was discovered in the Black Hills. The settlements that sprang up as a result were usually lawless, but Deadwood was even more notorious than most. Saloons and brothels boomed, and gunfights and murder were the norm. Perhaps the only thing worse than being murdered was being accused of murder, as trials were notoriously unfair. Wild Bill Hickok, famed gambler, actor, marksman, and all-around Old West folk hero, was famously shot in the back while playing poker in a Deadwood saloon. And Calamity Jane, another Wild West hero, lived here for some time and is buried in the town cemetery. Famous for its beauty, especially in the fall, Spearfish Canyon served as the location for several scenes in the movie epic Dances with Wolves. The Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway throngs with summertime pleasure drivers. 1,000-foot-high limestone palisades in shades of brown, pink, and gray tower to the right and left of Highway 14A as it twists through the 19-mile gorge. Adjacent to Spearfish Canyon is Roughneck Falls, one of the Black Hills' most beautiful areas, and also one of the area's most photographed spots. The falls are the result of the Little Spearfish Creek, which flows down a spectacular chasm, then tumbles off a 50-foot limestone ledge in a series of lacy cascades. Some say that Spearfish Canyon is the most beautiful drive in the Black Hills. Anchoring the northeast corner of Wyoming is the country's first national monument, Devil's Tower. Devil's Tower is a jaw-dropping geological feature that rises 867 feet above Wyoming's rolling prairies. While Devil's Tower National Monument garnered significant attention as the backdrop in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the tower is sacred to many Northern Plains Indian tribes, including the Kiowa, who made their homes in the Black Hills region. Tribes continue to hold sacred ceremonies at the tower, a practice that dates back thousands of years. The first Sturgis, South Dakota motorcycle rally was instigated on August 14, 1938, by the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club. The club still owns and operates the tracks, hill climb, and field areas where the rally is centered. That first event was dubbed the Black Hills Classic. It consisted of a single race with 9 participants and a small audience. The founder was Clarence "Pappy" Hull. He purchased an Indian motorcycle franchise in Sturgis in 1936 and formed the Jack Pine Gypsies that same year. The club was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 1997, and Hull was inducted in the AMA Hall of Fame the following year, in 1998. Annual attendance for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally has historically been around 500,000 people, reaching a high of over 700,000 attendees in 2015. The event is said to generate around $800 million in revenue.
Sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day. Whoa, 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 bright, oh, bright now, sunshiny day, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, oh, bright now, sunshiny day. My, 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 bright, oh, bright now, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day.
I catty cat. That means that you go somewhere, just do it.